Alex Eala's own photo was already on display when she entered the Nike World headquarters in Oregon. Not as a visitor, not as a guest, but as a worldwide ambassador whose likeness is now on display alongside the best athletes Nike has ever collaborated with. The tennis community is closely monitoring this, and competitors have every cause to be anxious. Do you believe that Alex Eala's collaboration with Nike will rank among the largest athlete brand agreements in the history of women's sports? Please share your exact thoughts in the comments section right now. Let's discuss the recent events in Oregon. Because rather than being dismissed as a charming social media post, this moment deserves to be thoroughly comprehended. When Alex Eala showed up on Friday at the Nike World headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon, she didn't get the type of welcome you would offer someone who just so happens to be associated with your company. Nike greeted her with what was called a cavalry. Her photographs were already on exhibit in the headquarters' fabled tunnel, the same tunnel that showcases the faces of Nike's global ambassadors in every sport, not just tennis, that the company works with globally. Alex Eala, who is 20 years old and rated number 31 in the world, was featured in one of those photos with the remark, "History in full bloom." The full flowering of history. Take a moment to consider that statement, as Nike did not write it by accident. Every phrase, picture, and caption in the structure has a purpose. Nike boasts one of the world's most advanced brand communications departments. They are making a statement about how they view the 20-year-old Filipino tennis player, where they think she is headed, and what they believe her tale signifies for their business moving ahead when they place history in full bloom beneath her photo in their global headquarters tunnel. This is a serious matter. Nike is planting a flag here. A picture of Eala taking a selfie with Filipino fans was also on display, which is a very clever brand move in addition to being a heartwarming touch. Nike is honoring more than simply athletes. The community that travels abroad to fill stadiums for Hillary is being honored. They are admitting that there is more to the Eala phenomena than just one tennis player. With a fervent, international fan following that is expanding with each tournament she competes in, it is a cultural phenomenon. "We see all of it, and we are proud to be part of it," reads the fan selfie that is displayed on the wall at Nike headquarters. In one of the photographs, Eala was seen reflecting her own image following her run to the Miami Open semifinals the previous year. The look of someone who has just done something they did not completely anticipate being feasible yet, with both hands on her face and tears in her eyes. One of the key pictures of her breakthrough season was that one. It is not a coincidence that Nike decided to copy it and put it on display at their headquarters. They are claiming that part of the narrative they wish to convey with their collaboration is the moment, that unfiltered emotional response from a young woman who qualified as a wild card, was knocked out, then defeated two Grand Slam champions to make it to the Final Four. And it's quite the tale. Let's go back to Miami from last year because context is important, and it's worth recounting the whole story of how Eala got to this Nike headquarters event. After qualifying, she was a wild card going into the Miami Open. At WTA 10,000 events, the majority of wild cards are thankful to be in the main draw and wish to win a round. Eala prevailed in rounds. Then she continued to prevail. The world number one, Iga Swiatek, was defeated by her. She defeated Grand Slam champion Jelena Ostapenko. She defeated Madison Keys, a well-liked performer who primarily performed in the US. She advanced from qualification to the semifinals of one of the most prominent women's tennis competitions. She claimed that her run was the turning point in her career. She claimed that after then, everything fell into place. The rankings supported her claim that, for the first time, she had a clearer understanding of what was truly feasible for her career. After Miami, She made her first appearance in the top 100, guaranteeing her a spot in every WTA 1000 tournament and future Grand Slam main draw. The door came off its hinges rather than simply opening. The ascent has been unrelenting since then. Top 100 following Miami, top 50 by the end of the previous year, top 40 earlier this month, and world number 31 following her run to the Dubai Tennis Championships quarterfinals, where she defeated world number 8 Jasmine Paolini 6-1, 7-6 before falling to Coco Gauff. She also advanced to the Philippine Women's Open quarterfinals, the Abu Dhabi Open quarterfinals, the Auckland semifinals, and the Kwang Classic exhibition title. In Melbourne, she made her debut in the main draw of the Australian Open. A first-round defeat at the Car Open was the only early exit during that period. Additionally, that occurred during one of the most successful tournament tennis swings any young player has recently put together. Nike puts their photos of that athlete on the wall. Not a promising prospect or a future star. A player who regularly produces results on the greatest courts in the world and who always brings an audience that the tennis community has never seen from that region of the world to her matches. In a recent podcast, former professional players Steve Johnson and Sam Querrey stated that EA is currently the largest attraction in women's tennis, surpassing both Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka. They stated it was outdrawing both of them in terms of stadium enthusiasm and fan attendance, and those are two Grand Slam champions with years of top 10 results between them, and a 20-year-old from the Philippines who isn't even in the top 30 yet. Johnson stated Eala's predicament was actually more serious after comparing it to what Juka was doing on the men's side the previous year. Almost no firm in the world has a deeper understanding of markets than Nike. They have decades of experience creating brands around athletes and have a keen sense of which athletes offer not only individual achievement, but also large-scale commercial potential. There are more than 110 million people in the Philippines. Tens of millions more are added by the Filipino diaspora, who are dispersed over all continents where significant tennis competitions are held. There was no WTA Tour player for the entire community to support prior to my arrival. Not for decades. Now that they have won, they are demonstrating everywhere she performs with flags, loud noises, and the kind of enthusiasm that elevates a typical tournament match to the level of a national event. Nike recognized that market. Nike took action. In Oregon, Eala's face is currently displayed on a wall. Next come the Miami Open and Indian Wells. Furthermore, the timing of this visit to the Nike headquarters is not accidental. EA came to the US early in order to spend more time getting ready for these two competitions. Indian Wells is open from March 4th to March 15th. Miami is open from March 17th to March 29th. The greatest competitions outside of the Grand Slams are the WTA 1000 events, which are back-to-back. Eala will be playing for the first time in her career at Indian Wells as a seeded player. She achieved world number 1, earning that spot point 31. She has a protected draw because of that sitting. Thus, there won't be any top seeds in the first rounds. This implies a more straightforward route to the later stages, where she's shown last year that she is capable of competing with anyone. The portrait on the wall at Nike headquarters originated from the Miami event. She is returning to that same tournament as a completely different player, better ranked, more experienced, and with a larger fan following traveling to support her, despite the tears, the shock, and the moment she called the pinnacle of her career. And this time, the pressure is different since she has the entire weight of a Nike global ambassador connection behind her. After seeing the world's most renowned sporting brand headquarters and seeing her own face on the wall, she is entering an environment with higher expectations. Money cannot purchase that psychological lift, and professional coaches cannot duplicate it either. Seeing history in full bloom next to your 20-year-old photo while walking through that tunnel reveals something unique about how the people who understand athletic stardom better than most others on the earth perceive your journey. Nike doesn't post faces of people they believe could do anything in the future on those walls. For those they think are already doing it, they place faces on those walls. The competitors in women's tennis have been paying close attention to Eala's ascent out of real worry. When a player who isn't yet in the top 10 begins to command the largest courts at every tournament she enters and earns seats at WTA 1000 events because the audiences she attracts want it. Furthermore, it is impossible to misinterpret the message conveyed to the rest of the tour when that athlete is also joining Nike as a global brand ambassador and is attending a banquet at their headquarters that features her personal image display. In today's professional sports, this player is regarded as a top-tier athlete in every sense of the word. The tennis, the community, the culture, the marketing, and the playing are all already present. The outcomes over the previous 12 months have unequivocally shown that Eala belongs at the top of the women's game and can defeat anybody when she's feeling particularly strong. The tennis side of the image now perfectly matches the brand side. Eala won a Grand Slam, but Nike did not appoint her as a worldwide ambassador. Based on their predictions, they made an investment in her. And what they anticipated is currently happening more quickly than even the most optimistic forecast from a year ago. The fan selfie on the wall of Nike's headquarters perfectly captures the essence of why this collaboration is so successful. Eala's relationship with her supporters is not one of transaction. Cheering because they like seeing someone triumph is not the typical interaction between an athlete and their fan following for a whole country and a whole international community. She represents something beyond tennis, which is why Filipino fans travel to Auckland, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Melbourne. As Manny Pacquiao just stated, she bears the flag in a way that inspires pride in a very particular and profound way. Nike acknowledges that the Eala tale is about more than just one athlete's accomplishment by hanging the fan photo on their wall. It tells the story of what occurs when a country at last produces a player who deserves to be at the top and shows it to the world every week. 4 days separate us and Indian Wells. Miami follows immediately. On the wall is the portrait. The fan base is on the move. The rankings are rising. As the player leaves Nike World headquarters next month, her name and face will already be inscribed in the brand's history, and the competitors are keeping an eye on everything. History at its peak. Nike stated it, and the tennis community is beginning to accept it. Alex Eala's photo was already on the wall when she entered Nike World headquarters. Miami and Indian Wells are up next, and things will only get worse from here. The competitors are aware of it and are powerless to stop it. If you intend to follow this voyage through to the end, please click the like button and subscribe.